Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of 1990's Represent. On this episode, we're taking a look at Full Throttle. So this will wrap up our first cycle of 1995. Absolutely love this game. It's a great LucasArts point-and-click adventure designed by Tim Schafer, who obviously designed, did some work on other LucasArts games, including like Monkey's Island and Dan the Tentacle. Games like that. Wanted to create Psychonauts. So a very good game designer has created some awesome games over the years. Grim Fandango being another one of them. I think my two favorite games from Tim Schafer are Full Throttle and Grim Fandango. They kind of occupy that top spot for me. Both those games are amazing. I have some notes here about this, and then we're going to do some gameplay for Full Throttle. We're using the remastered version that came out, I want to say, like, probably was quite a few years ago, like maybe like 5 years ago or so. But the cool thing with the remastered version is it has updated graphics or like updated like animations generally that are full resolution and all that kind of stuff. But you also have the option to play it with the graphics from 1995 as well. It has a different resolution because it's obviously widescreen versus like 4:3, so it does kind of stretch out a little bit when you do that. So when you get to the gameplay, that'll probably happen because I probably will play part of it with the 1995 graphics, part of it with the updated graphics. But we have some notes here about the game. So Full Throttle, first release May 19th, 1995. Like I said, designed by Tim Schafer. And this was his first game where he was the kind of like the lead on the project. I think he was a co-lead on Day of the Tentacle, but this is the game where he was basically the head writer, basically the lead head writer and head designer on it. So this is the first game where it was basically entirely him, at least on like the creative process of it. Again, he had previously worked on like The Secret of Monkey Island, the Monkey Island 2, and Day of the Tentacle. This was the first LucasArts game that was only available on CD-ROM. I know there was a bunch of Star Wars games that used some kind of full motion video, like Rebel Assault and games like that. Those were, I think, offered on both CD and floppy. But Full Throttle was the first game where it was only available on CD-ROM. And I think most people by 1995 probably had CD-ROM drives on their computer. I remember first computer we had was a Windows 3.1 machine, or 3.1, and then eventually 3.11. It didn't have a CD-ROM drive initially, but we added one in. I want to say, kind of like in like the spring of 1995, we added a CD-ROM, and then every computer I've gotten since then has had a CD-ROM already inside of it, or a DVD-ROM when those got older, or Blu-ray drives, or whatever you get now. This computer here actually still has a Blu-ray drive, but they weren't always coming back in the day. But I remember we got our first CD-ROM drive in 1995. Some excellent voice acting in here from Roy Conrad, who plays our title character, our main character, as well as Mark Hamill, who plays the villain. But Mark Hamill's voice, you can definitely tell it's like a slight alteration to his Joker voice, maybe like just a little bit different, a little less like maniacal, but still kind of in that same kind of tone. Roy Conrad, unfortunately, I think like passed away. Like I think not shortly after this game came out, but a while after. And I think they were at one point going to be working on another Full Throttle game, and I think with his passing, that eventually just got scrapped entirely. I don't really even know how far into development the other one was, but I think had he not passed away, we probably would have gotten another game. But with him being gone, there's probably pretty much no reason to continue. He's amazing. Roy Conrad is amazing in this. Mark Hamill is amazing. Is amazing too. But got music in here, licensed music. One of the first LucasArts games that actually used licensed music. A lot of the other music in games prior to this was all done kind of in-house by like in-house composers, or like with the Star Wars games, probably just repurposing a lot of John Williams music. But this has some licensed music by a band known as the Gone Jackals. Again, it's like a classic kind of point-and-click adventure. But it actually has an improved interface over a lot of the kind of like much earlier LucasArts games. I think that interface was first implemented like a year or two before this with Sam and Max Hit the Road. It's been a while since I played that one, but that one had a pretty good interface. But then they brought that interface into Full Throttle, made some tweaks to it, It's a little more, I think, intuitive as far as like how point-and-click adventures go. Like I love the Indiana Jones Fate of Atlantis, but the interface and some of the puzzles are a little bit kind of confusing. Where it's like item A, if you have item A, you combine it with item B to solve the puzzle, and they're not always very intuitive. I think they actually got a little bit more away from that with this one. Some of the puzzles aren't as kind of like obtuse, if you will, or weird. Yeah, I remember completing this game. I didn't buy it right when it came out, but I ended up picking it up a couple years later when I had a Windows 95 machine. So I think this is like runs on DOS or ran on DOS, but it ran really well on Windows 95 and Windows 98. So that's where I first played it. The development of this game apparently started in 1993. And so Dave, basically Tim Schafer, Dave Grosson, I think, who worked on Day of the Tentacle, were asked to turn in kind of design documents for like potential projects. At that point, I think Tim Schafer had kind of like said that he could work on a project on his own, and he ended up pitching a couple different ideas. One was like a spy game. One was like something based on Day of the Dead, and then there was a game based on motorcycles, which eventually turned into Full Throttle. Apparently in an interview, a lot of people claim that the setting is post-apocalyptic. It kind of looks like that. It's a little bit Mad Maxy in a way. But he claims it's not post-apocalyptic. It's just set on a different world than ours. Because it's kind of post-apocalyptic, but it's also like retro-futuristic as well. Like, the car in the opening cutscene is supposed to be probably like a limo or something like that, maybe like a nice Cadillac. And it's more like a hover car, so it's like kind of like hover cars, but they're done to look kind of like old school, a little kind of in the style of Fallout, maybe a little bit, even though this game predates Fallout, but that kind of like art style, if you will. So that is going to do it for this portion of the video. We're going to jump into our gameplay, and we're going to play a little bit of this classic. I'm going to be using, like I said earlier, using some of the updated visuals, as well as kind of going back and forth between the updated and the original visuals. The updated visuals look really good, but the old visuals have like a certain charm to them, like that kind of mid-90s just LucasArts adventure like graphics where like they still look really good, but they do look a little bit dated, but there's a certain kind of charm to those. So we'll be right back with the gameplay. We're going to jump ahead into that in just a second. Alright, and here we are in our game. This is the original 1995 intro, but if you press F1 on your keyboard while playing this, it'll go into the updated full screen visuals.
That's the last sensation I had before I blacked out. The thick smell of asphalt. And the first thing I saw when I woke up was her face. She said she'd fix my bike. Free. No strings attached. I should have known then that things are never that simple. Yeah, when I think of Marine, I think of two things. Asphalt and trouble.
Rip Burger, you're dumber than dirt.
Oh, Mr. Corley, if you'd only listen to my plan, my vision.
I know your plan, Rip Burger. You're waiting for me to die so you can take over my company.
Oh, sir, that's horrible. I am not waiting for you to die.
You know I've never liked you, Rip. But you have business know-how and killer instincts that I respect.
Why, thank you, sir.
But this latest idea of yours, riding up to our shareholders' meeting with a gang of bikers? Who do you think you're fooling?
The shareholders, sir. It's good PR to be seen hobnobbing with real Corley Motors customers.
What do you know about our customers, Adrian? You've never even been on a bike.
Well, you know I'd be on one right now, sir, if it weren't for my destabilizing inner ear condition.
Ah, your ears are fine. It's what's between them that scares me.
So there's of course Mark Hamill there. We got the awesome Gone Jackals theme, kind of.
Now there goes some boys I can ride with. Step on it. Let's find out who they are.
You also got that nice kind of like film noir intro as well with Roy Conrad doing the voiceover. And I love that it transitions between the updated graphics and the original graphics like very flawlessly. All right, here we go. So the game's about to start. You got a couple more cutscenes coming up.
Hey, Ben. You know, Ben, we're broke.
Yeah?
And if some cash doesn't come our way soon, we're in big trouble.
Relax. I have a feeling something's coming our way. Something big.
You better stay out here, Rip. This place is bikers only. All right. Who's the guy that drove over my car?
What could possibly be taking so long?
Maybe old man Corley got himself in trouble.
Yeah, maybe they took the old guy out back and worked him over with a 2x4.
An appealing notion, but improbable. More likely he's boring them to death with some tale of the glory days.
But Malcolm, isn't that illegal?
Not back then, it wasn't.
So who do you ride with these days?
He rides with me. Although I'm sure he'd much rather be riding with your little club.
I told you to wait out in the limo, Rip Burger.
I thought you might like some help with your sales pitch, sir.
Sales pitch?
Yes, we've come here today to offer you and your men employment. Mr. Corley requires an escort to the annual Corley Motors shareholders meeting.
Does this look like an escort service to you?
You would be well compensated for your time, of course.
Not interested.
It's fairly obvious that you could use the money.
Listen, I said we're not for rent. The polecats are not goons for hire.
Not even if it were Malcolm Corley's dying wish.
Rip Burger? That does it. I'm gonna...
Hold on there, Malcolm. If you don't mind, I'd like to step outside with Mr. Ripburger for a little chat.
Excellent idea. And the doctor says he only has a few months to live.
That's bad news for all of us. He's not just a nice guy. He's also the last motorcycle maker in the country. What happens to Corley Motors if he dies?
Don't worry. I have a plan. And if you come to the shareholders meeting with us, you'll find out what it is.
No dice, Ripburger. The polecats are not thugs for rent. If you want to buy muscle, you should go find the Rottweilers.
The old man says it's the polecats or nothing.
then I guess it'll have to be nothing.
And that's your last word?
That's it.
Well, I'd like to make you just one final offer. Bolus, take this coat and go get his motorcycle. We'll have to tie up this little 200-pound loose end. It'll need to look like an accident.
That stuffed shirt actually thinks I'll leave him in control of Corley Motors when I go. Boy, is he in for a surprise.
Hey, where's Ben going?
Your colleague has decided to accept our generous offer after all. As a matter of fact, he's gone on ahead to scout out the route.
He did?
Well then, let's roll 'em, boys. Yahoo! Oh, here we come.
Alright, so here's the actual gameplay now. This is our controls. So basically you're in this dumpster. You gotta get out of it. I also like that it extends the frame. So this would have been the frame on the original 1995 version. And this is the frame here.
Take that. I've touched it enough. Some joker took my keys. I don't like that. I don't have anything. Some joker took my keys. Open up. Fixed your door. It was sticky.
Look, I don't want no trouble. Just leave me out of this mess.
I don't have anything. You know what might look better on your nose?
What?
The bar. Now don't mess around with me.
All right. I got your keys, but I don't know nothing. They had guns. They told me to stall you as long as possible.
Why?
I don't know. I overheard them say something about an ambush up the road.
What else?
Nothing. Look, man, here are your keys, all right? Oh, someone did say something about killing you and making it look like an accident.
They didn't do too good of a job there. But why ambush the polegats? I'd better get moving.
Alright, so we got the keys. We can now go to the bike.
When I'm on the road, I'm indestructible. No one can stop me. But they try.
Alright, so here's one of the combat areas.
Hey, ain't you the A#1 polecat honcho?
Yeah, and you're in my way.
Well, get used to it, bud. When the Rottweilers hit the road, we own it.
Look, I'm serious. Someone's ambushing the polegats.
Someone's ambushing the polecats? Oh, heavens! Whatever will we do?
That does it.
Come on, kitty! Let's get down!
Alright, so I messed that up. Alright, there we go. And I think if you want just the story experience, there's a way to disable fighting, or you can skip them. But there we go. Things about to fall apart. I definitely remember this from playing it back in the day.
I'd like to make you just
Something about killing you and making it look like an accident. Something about killing you and making it look like an accident.
I have a plan.
They had guns.
Malcolm Corley's dying wish.
Something about an ambush up the road.
I have a plan.
Oh.
Man, this is gruesome. My editor better print these in color. Now I have to get you some help, I suppose. Ah, quit moaning. I know someone around here who can fix anything.
What are you?
I'm a mechanic, and apparently a pretty good doctor as well. My name's Maureen.
My name's Ben. Why did you hit me over the head, Maureen?
You were in an accident. A reporter found you and brought you and your bike here.
My bike? What have you done with my bike?
Brought it back from the dead. Sort of like what I did with you. Need a little help getting it finished, though.
How's it look?
It looks better than it did, but you gotta help me out. The front forks are wasted, so you'll have to get some new ones. And someone stole my welding torch. Can you believe that? I can't finish without one. And last but not least, I patched up your ruptured gas tank, but you're out of fuel and I don't have any.
Who are you?
Maureen, remember? If that's too hard, maybe you should just stick with Mo.
Where'd you learn bikes?
I grew up working on them with my dad. One summer we did nothing but restore this old hardtail together. I mean, we scrubbed every bolt until it shined. But he took off one day and he never came back. So I switched to toasters.
You live in this town?
Well, Melonweed's not much of a town. What's left of it is sinking about a foot a year. People either learn to adjust, or they leave, which is fine with me.
Not a people person?
I'm just better with toasters, that's all.
This an authorized Corley Service Center?
You could call this a Corley Service Center, but I don't have the official paperwork.
Ah, an illegitimate Corley operation.
I prefer to think of it as a renegade Corley operation.
I better get going.
Let me know if you need any aspirin or anything.
So yeah, now I need to find I think a gas for the tank and forks. So what do I have here?
Wish this gas can was full.
There's a gas can, so I got that. So I think you need to, if I remember correctly, you got to siphon gas from something.
I'll wait till she's done. Who's this?
Oh, that's me and my Uncle Pete. He took care of me after Dad split at this place he called the Mink Ranch. When he died, he left it to me.
You're a mink farmer?
Nah, that place went belly up long before he died. But I still go back there whenever I need to get away for a while.
So I don't know if there's anything else I can interact with more in here.
Oh, good. You're not dead yet. I might still get a quote.
I heard you saved my life.
Yeah, but don't worry. I wasn't trying to. I was just looking for some nice roadside disaster photos, and you helped.
Who'd want a picture of me bleeding?
It's not the blood. It's the way you were, all twisted up like a pretzel.
Listen, I've got to stop an ambush.
Ambush? Really? Where?
Somewhere between here and Corville. My crew is escorting some VIPs to the Corley Motors shareholders meeting, and there's an ambush waiting for them somewhere up the road.
Yeah?
This is hard for me. I need...
Come on, man, spit it out.
Could you give me a ride in your car? I've got to stop this ambush.
You're right. We have to get to the ambush, all right. But I'm afraid I'm without wheels at the moment.
How did you get us here?
Hitched.
Well, I'd better be going.
All right, drive safe now.
All right, so gotta get the gas. We gotta get the forks for the motorcycle.
I'm not putting my lips on that. I don't want to hurt Moe's mailbox.
Okay, so we can go that way. Yes, I think that's the only way is left. So let's see where that leads us. Oh yeah, I totally forgot that the kid had a car. I totally forgot that.
Thanks for the lift. Now I got a quote for you.
Yeah, from what I remember, there's stuff in the junkyard that we can do. So there's the house, whatever that is. I forget what that place is, but let's go here.
Steel bars in the glass.
Oh yeah, also the welding torch. That got stolen too.
Who's out there? Hey!
I'm trying to do my art in here, buddy.
I don't got time to waste on bums like you. Hey, you lousy
Wouldn't look good on my bike.
Got the lockpick. Don't remember if you actually need the lockpick, but
it's locked up with steel brackets. It's a lockpick. A lockpick won't help there. Wouldn't look good on my bike.
So yeah, I don't know if any of that stuff is necessary.
No thanks. This sandbox has been taken over by a big dog.
Okay, so this I think is a junkyard. Don't know if you could actually get in there. Oh, so this is a junkyard. All right, cool.
Open up, Todd.
Because I think letting go of the chain, I think, drops the thing, right? Yeah. So there's got to be a way to hold the chain up while going into it? I don't remember exactly.
A lockpick won't help there.
So yeah, you've got to like tie something to that to get it to work, I think. I forget what this area was. So lockpick probably works on that. I don't remember exactly what to do in this spot.
I'll get the safe fire before you do that. Sorry, boss. I got excited.
Yeah, because I think in the junkyard is where you get the forks, and that might be where you get the gas, but I don't remember exactly. Right, there he is, alright. See him kind of running along the road there?
Bars.
What do you want? I got a guy coming to look at my yard. So blow. Can't you talk? Yeah.
I'm a friend of Moe's. I need...
Listen, I didn't take no welding torch. You hear me? I'm no crook.
So get off my back already. You knock for a reason or you just nuts? Get away from my door, you bonehead punk. You stick around long enough and maybe they'll pick you up.
I think he's had enough. I think he's had enough.
Okay, so there's obviously like an elevator or something in here.
No.
There we go. This is the first time, but. Alright, so there's the gas. There's the torch. Okay, we got that.
That's my welding torch. How'd you get it?
Oh, it was just lying around.
A pair of forks, little gas, and we're set.
Alright, so we still got to get the forks. Still got to get the gas. I think there's like, you had to siphon the gas with like a hose, I think. But I think that is where we're going to end this video. It's ended on some 1995 graphics there. But this has been Full Throttle. That's going to do it for this video. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. We'll be back again in a few days, starting our first cycle of 1996. So we'll be back with that. Thanks again for watching. Take care and have a good one. See ya.